fedora, you know what I'm saying? Glasses with no prescription rap, you know what I'm saying? Yo, hey yo, time multiplied by the speed that it flies. A bloody recipe to get a piece of the pie. Hanging out the window, throwing sets in the sky. Living like a maniac and ready to die. Pitching just to get a sniff of tickets to fly. Vicious with the gift and hit a chick from the sides. My clique be hitting licks and a trick we ain't tried. Get it from the bricks until the riches divide.
Yeah, we drink bourbon and heads hard like Keith Thurman. The leaves burning, the world keeps turning, the heat's purchased.
What's up? You were tuned into episode 4 of Dad is Dope. As you know, I'm your host, Corey Fisher, artist, husband, and father to one beautiful Ava Harper Hensley, born since we last spoke in episode 3. I could not be more excited, not only because I now have my baby girl here with me, but because this marks the beginning of the next stage of Dad is Dope. If you don't already, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube by searching Dad is Dope, and stay tuned as Connie and I launch our vlog documenting our first year of parenthood. Okay, now that I got all my personal plugs out the way, let's get rolling into episode 4 of the Dad is Dope podcast. Track you're hearing is Curry Chicken from Iron Mike Sharpe, group that consists of tag team specialists Vegas Posada, and today's guest, Lee G.
What up, what up, what up? Peace.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Dad is Dope podcast.
Tommy gun, 100 vibe. Weak nigga, cuff you down, this letters fine, run the line like 100 times, a couple times.
Yeah, man.
Love that track, man.
Thank you, I appreciate it, man.
Today's guest is none other than Lee the G of Lee G News morning show on WLXU 93.9 FM. You know what I like about your life right now, Lee?
What's up?
I feel like this interview could go in one of several different ways. You know what I mean, man?
Uh-huh.
Like, you're doing a lot.
I'm trying right now, man. Well,
Right.
You know what? Master Yoda said,
Okay.
do or do not. There is
True.
no try. So right now I'm doing it.
True.
Yeah.
I feel that, man. That's encouraging.
Thank
Because
you.
I'm doing it too, man.
Yeah, you are.
You know what I mean?
That's why I'm here.
Newborn
If you-
upstairs, man. Downstairs in the basement, rocking the podcast out.
And life's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, it's really cool because in venues and stuff, like I've chopped it up with you a little bit, but I've never really got to like build with you.
Yeah.
So today is going to be cool, man. Because
Yeah.
I get to kind of
Been looking forward to this,
Yeah,
man.
this is going to be dope. So let's get right into it, man. Is that
Okay.
cool with you?
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about the morning show.
All
first
right.
and foremost. All right. So I know the idea of Lee G News is not began with this show.
No.
You know what I mean? Like you kind of had this going for a while now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm more interested, man. Where did the idea come from? When did you get the idea?
For Lee G News or
Yeah,
for the
in
Lee G
general.
News morning show?
No, just Lee G News, period. The idea of it and kind of not what it's became now, but where it began.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that question has two different answers. And the easy answer would be I've been doing Lee G News all my life.
Right?
Via my mom. My mom, when I was a kid, my mom bought me a tape recorder.
Okay.
And what it was a tape. It was a small tape player.
Okay.
That had a red record button in the play button. So if you hit
Right.
play and record at the same time, you could record, audio. So once I figured that out, I was recording my own voice.
Right.
And was recording myself singing, nursery rhymes
Yeah.
and Sunday school songs.
Right.
And stuff like that. And I would also mimic the DJ that I heard on the radio. My mom used to listen to a radio station called WTLA. And they had like a little jingle for good music every day, WTLA.
Good memory right there. Man.
And that's, man, I'm about to tear up. That was everything to me. Right. So I would record myself, and my mom told me one time that I was like 4 or 5 years old doing it. She said, you did it so good one time, I took the tape from you because I wanted to keep it.
Yeah, that's
You know
dope.
what I'm saying?
That's dope.
So that's an easy answer. And secondly, let's fast forward to around 2006, around 2007.
Kind of around when social media started kind of popping a
A
little bit.
little bit, maybe, before it took off. Certainly MySpace was cracking.
Right, for sure.
And, I'm going to parties, I'm doing shows, and I'm fighting, I'm drinking, I'm doing a lot of acid, I'm doing a lot of pills and Percocets.
Yeah, man.
And I'm starting to hear stories about myself, that I was blacking out. and being really disrespectful to people and fighting and cursing and I would be waking up and not knowing how I got home and stuff like that.
I've been there, man.
And it was bothered me to my soul.
Yeah.
So what I did was I broke out my 8mm camcorder.
Okay.
And I masqueraded it as when Corey raps, I'm going to film it. When I rap, I'm going to film it. When
Right.
someone raps, I'm going to, it's kind of like I'm getting footage of these shows and parties and performances. And what I was really doing was I was carrying around a receipt for myself.
Yeah.
The next morning, I would watch the footage to make sure
man.
I didn't.
Do something
To
that
make
you
sure
didn't-
I wasn't doing anything
Yeah,
wrong.
I feel
And
that.
not only that, but I would study it and I would correct my behavior.
Right.
And what I started to do is I stopped drinking publicly. If I was booked to play Triple Crown Lounge or the Dame or something, I wouldn't drink.
Yeah.
And I was calling it Lee G TV.
Right.
And we started to get camera phones around 2009, 2010, and now it's Corey TV, it's Larry TV, it's Marcus
Everyone
TV,
has
it's Jim
one pretty
TV.
much, yeah.
So I said, I'm going to change Lee G TV to Lee G News. Because I've always done the news in high school and in college. I wrote for the newspaper, did the morning announcements. So it was just an easy transition.
And
So
not only that, it's different. Like you
It's
don't hear a
yeah.
lot of people saying news after their name or whatever. Like,
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
you don't really get that vibe unless you subscribe to it. Like you have to put that out there.
Absolutely.
And there's not a lot of people putting it out in a news style format.
You know what? And I said, I'm not going to be, Ron Burgundy
Right.
style.
Right.
Like if a fight breaks out in front of the store,
Yeah.
I'm not going to film the fight.
Right.
I'm going to post up and with a
Be
selfie and be
there.
like, Lee G News broadcasting live from John
Right.
getting his ass whooped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure,
And that
man.
was going to be my angle.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I've definitely tuned in to live videos. I've seen a broad spectrum of different types of videos that you've put out there. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I will read a news story through your timeline because the way the
That's
algorithm
flattering.
works on Facebook, honestly, man, is the more of somebody's stuff that you like, their stuff is going to pop up on your feed more often. There's an algorithm there. So I've always kind of liked your stuff and shared it or saved it on my Facebook and stuff. And that makes it pop up more often. So a lot of times I'm seeing a car accident or a shooting that happened really a lot of times after the weekends, you'll post it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, it's crazy that you're kind of a source for my local news
That's
already.
awesome.
You know what I mean? Even just because I'm on social media.
That is
you know what I
awesome
mean?
because that's fully what I intend to be.
And that's what I'm saying. There's not a lot of people that post or share articles like that get any traction. But the second that you're able to do that and people care about your commentary, you're in a good place, man.
Yeah, thanks,
so I think
man.
it's cool that you've been able to do that. And I'm more interested, how has it became what it is now? Because I know that it may have been an idea for you and a way of life, kind of recording and stuff growing up. But how did you take it to the radio station? How did you get on WLXU? And how has it became what it is today?
That's a good question because it kind of just happened. I was living in Louisville at the time, and I believe, WLXU is not even 2 years old yet.
Right.
And I believe, I don't know how correct I am on this, that someone referenced me, you guys need to seek out this Lee G guy.
Yeah.
And so I was approached by, I believe her name was Rosa,
Okay.
who is no longer with the station. Rosa introduced me to Chuck. So I came into the station via Rosa and Yusef Truax. Those
Yeah,
were
I
my
know.
introduction
I know of Yusef.
to the station. And upon meeting with Chuck, he was like, excuse me, he was like, yeah, didn't you go to school for this?
Right.
And I'm like, I did. And he was like, so what's up? You want to bring Lee G News to the station? And I was like, I would love to, but I live in Louisville.
Yeah.
And I work at Just Fab Shoe Dazzle, and I don't think I could work it out.
Right.
So thanks.
Yeah.
I'm flattered, but I would have to respectfully decline because I can't pull it off.
Okay.
So fast forward about a year and a half, and I moved back to Lexington. I moved back to Lexington first, not for the job. I moved back to Lexington first, and once I did, I started to seek out employment and sending my resumes to different places, and a light bulb went off, and I was like, call 93.9.
Right.
And I called him, and Chuck was like, come over, let's talk.
Awesome.
And I told him, I was like, look, I'm in Lexington. And he was like, well, when can you start? And so we came up with the show premise. They loved it. And I applied, and via Lexington Community Radio and Fayette County Public Schools, I was approved.
That's awesome, man.
We were off.
Yeah, that's so awesome, man. Because now it's really came a long way. Like, you've got an additional day from when you first began. Because originally it was just on Mondays, correct?
It was just on Mondays.
And now you're already doing 2 different days now.
Yeah.
And I mean,
working on a third.
yeah, that's awesome, man. Like, keep pushing, man.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's so encouraging to see you doing what you're doing. And I told you that before the cameras came on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's cool that things are progressing for you. I enjoy seeing it.
Appreciate that, man.
So it's cool to kind of hear the history of it and kind of why you're doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to hear that. So let me ask you, man, because I read through the grapevine, actually your timeline. I was talking about that.
That is a great time.
Yeah, pretty much. But that you're talking about coming a field reporter.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Will you talk about that for a little bit?
Absolutely.
I want to hear about it.
So, I have a friend by the name of Amanda Kizik-Girton. She is a photographer, and she works with Bryan Station Athletics and also for the Key News Journal, which is a local publication here in Lexington, Kentucky. And there is a new thing about to launch called the Lexington Sports Network.
Okay, awesome.
And it will be covering all high school sports. I believe the Lexington Legends and the Kentucky Wildcats.
Dope. I'm a big Legends fan.
Me too.
I'm a big Legends.
Go Legends. Go Northside Boys.
Sure.
So, it's called the Lexington Sports Network. And from my understanding, it was formulated by a bunch of photographers who cover sports.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. And so what is needed now are writers and reporters.
Cool.
And my homie, my G, my friend Amanda Kizik-Girton. And shout out to Coach Greg Girton too. Amanda referenced me.
Cool.
And she was like, look, we need to bring this Lee G guy in. He does radio.
So what I'm hearing, man, is you've got really good friends. 'Cause
Look,
both of these are references,
look,
right?
man,
Like,
it's just nice to be nice.
Definitely.
And when you know good, you'll do good.
It's almost like kind of what goes around comes around.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Yeah.
And I'm just so grateful, to know these people and to be someone that is, she wouldn't reference me if she didn't recognize me doing myself on my own.
Yeah, man, for
And
sure.
a lot of times, we like to help people who are helping themselves. If you're just wallowing in your own muck and mire, people will leave you alone. But if people see you trying to get up and with some gumption about yourself, people will help you out.
For sure.
So I believe I'm reaping the benefits of that right now. I'm grateful.
Yeah, definitely, man. I like I said, it's good to see. So just tell me that the aim is going to be in front of the camera more often. That's
Okay,
what
so
I'm
I brought
hearing.
that up at the meeting yesterday. I had to meet with Dave, and he was like, he's from England. He was like, yeah, I want you to write. I want you to do the stories and go to the games and things of that sort and whatnot. And I was like, well, I'm pretty good with a camera and a microphone.
Yeah.
And I would love to be the beat reporter on the field.
Right.
And he was like, mate, that's a good idea. But men like to look at women talking about sports. And I was like, well, you're right.
Yeah.
So, but I told him that if we could bring somebody in young and impressionable and beautiful, I would love to train them and show them, look, let your personality shine.
Yeah.
I don't care if the score's 3-0.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I see
they're there for
some
you.
sideline Lee G.
I'm gonna make them
going viral,
do it.
man.
I'm
You know
gonna
what
make
I mean?
them.
Like, I want to see a video of like you at these sports things and covering this stuff because you have the capacity to be able to say something that would like be catchphrasey. You know what I mean? Like people would be able to pick it up. So
Definitely.
man, I'm trying to get you in front of a camera. We need you in front of a camera.
Look, right now I'm laying the groundwork. ESPN, Viceland.
Yeah.
Pay
Viceland
attention.
is so dope.
Viceland was made for me.
Yeah, Viceland is dope.
Viceland was made for you.
Viceland is so
Dad is dope.
Yeah.
The Lee G
Yeah.
News Morning Show.
Yeah.
Hey, Viceland.
Right. How beautiful, man. Yeah, I love Action Bronson's show on there, man.
F That's Delicious is my show.
And there's Weedakit,
which
is good.
Weedakit, Bong Appetit.
Yeah.
Jesus and Marrow.
There's another one that I've seen that was like they went.
The Therapist.
The Therapist is fantastic.
Come on.
That show, man. That show is great.
American
and at first,
Boy
I didn't know how I
Band.
was gonna feel about that show.
I didn't like it
but
at
then,
first.
Yeah, but when I watched the Prodigy episode, like, yeah, that man,
Larry, told you. Cause see, when he was first having on I'm not gonna name any names. But when he was having the younger generation rappers, I was like, that's not interesting to me.
Right.
You know, Dr. Suri Satnam Singh or whatever his name
man.
is. But that Prodigy episode is what brought me in.
The Prodigy one was great. I also like the Freddie Gibbs one, but I'm a Freddie
I watched
Gibbs
that one
fan.
too.
That one was good, but he's a mature dude. You know what I mean? He's been through a lot in the last couple
didn't know
months.
that he was locked up that long
yeah,
for that.
Man, like, jeez, man. And like for total false accusations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Like,
the
this
way
one
the
was just
guards were,
fabricated.
like that was frightening.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what
it
I'm
is. And like him talking about getting out of the limelight for that, like I could see that. But he's a great talent, man. I'm a huge fan.
He
of
is.
his.
Shout out to Freddie Gibbs, man.
Let me kind of transition into music. That kind of
Okay.
naturally happened, man. I want to talk about your music a lot.
All right.
Because you're juggling a lot right now, man. And
I am.
We see you working, but you know, my personal favorites of your work is your music.
Okay,
Like,
thank
Iron
you.
Mike Sharpe 1 and 2, my wife will tell you, man, we've played it on many a road trips. I have 5 CDs in my car right now. 2 of them are your projects.
Oh, wow.
So, and I'm a huge fan, man. Like, seriously.
You probably know my verses better than
Marcus
me.
and I have talked about your music when he was here for
Okay, yeah,
episode
yeah,
1,
yeah.
and I told him like how much of a fan I was of how you come into tracks, you know, and kind of your presence on a track, man. And I've shown your music to more people that have asked for local music that I think that they would like. So like I've put them onto you and Fred. Those are the people that I put out there and say.
Shout out to Freddie Krueger.
Yeah.
Fred C.
Yeah.
Freddie Krueger
Yeah.
is his Iron Mike Sharpe. He's Iron Mike Sharpe too.
He's so nasty. Man.
He's Iron Mike Sharpe.
Fred is so dope.
That's our, you know,
Yeah.
we're a tag team.
Right.
He's a singles competitor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
He's nasty.
Shout out
man.
to Fred C.
I'm a huge fan of his.
AKA Freddie Krueger.
Yeah. So if people ask me like about local music, that tends to be the 2 that I put
Thanks.
people onto. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
And like, I just want to know. I've heard that you guys are about to come out with Iron Mike Sharpe 3. Is that correct?
We are.
Okay, cool. So how long is that until that's dropping? Do you have a date? I know you probably don't want to put that out
No,
there.
I mean,
like
I would
that.
love to, but there's no set date. Like,
Okay.
one of the things about Iron Mike Sharpe is we fancy ourselves in not doing the norm.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
I'm going to tell you, we're going to wake up one day and drop it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because like
and-
that's cool.
Right.
You know, I mean, we
that's
dropped Iron
that's
Mike
kinda
Sharpe.
how Fred did too. Like,
Yeah.
Out of
See,
the blue.
We dropped Iron Mike Sharpe 1 on Halloween.
I remember that.
We dropped Iron Mike Sharpe 2 on Derby.
Yeah.
So it's like enough with the, you know, and that's another thing. We didn't do release dates. We were like on this like holiday or whatever,
Right.
we'll drop it. But this one, it's so powerful. It will be so impactful that
Listen to the words he's using. Like,
I'm
seriously,
telling you.
that's dope.
I'm telling you,
I
look,
like to hear that.
I'm telling you, I'm so proud of this record. You
Dope.
know, Iron Mike Sharpe 3 is called Power and Glory.
Yeah.
It's 19 tracks. One
kinda
through
long, too.
1 through 10 is Power.
Okay.
And 11 through 19 is Glory.
Yeah,
So it's kind of it's 2 albums.
Right.
We did the songs are so dope. We didn't want to not give them to you. And the way they're easily digestible. 19 songs sounds like a lot, but they're 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, and
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
kind of a trademark of your
Yeah,
music. You
yeah.
know, at least as Iron Mike Sharpe. A lot of them have been short but really impactful records.
You can't find any long Road Warriors matches.
Right.
They came in,
Right.
beat you up, pinned you, got
Yeah.
out of there
See, we
to
can
go
scratch
drink beer.
that off because I had the nerve to ask if there was going to be the wrestling themes in this one. I'm so happy to hear.
Well, let me
that'll be
tell you,
there.
because I'm a smart mark, so
Yeah.
you may not have caught the album title. It's
Right.
Power and Glory.
Yeah.
That is Paul Roma and Hercules
man.
Hernandez. And the manager was the Reverend Slick. So, yeah, it's saturated with what you know and love. You know what? I'm going to break you off with the album before I leave. I'm gonna shoot that to
Yeah,
you.
just and no one else will hear it. That'll be my personal little favorite. I'm gonna have it. Oh,
Dude,
man, I can't wait.
You're not gonna.
You know how big of a fan I am, Lee. You need
That's
to know
awesome.
how big of a
That's
fan I am.
awesome. That's
But
awesome.
man, I kind of know a little bit about this.
Okay.
For maybe anybody that's going to be listening, that's more on my side of things, that may be picking up on Dad is Dope and doesn't know who you are for real. Will you kind of tell them about kind of Iron Mike Sharpe altogether? Because a lot
Sure.
of local people know kind of who your producers are, who you in Vegas are. Can you just kind of give people an idea of like what Iron Mike Sharpe is?
Okay, Iron Mike Sharpe is a rap group. It's a duo. It's a collaborative effort. Ali G was a solo artist, which I never wanted to be, never intended to be. I was in a rap group growing up called CIA with a guy by the name of Tanaka and another guy currently by the name of Champagne Chew down in Atlanta, who does work with Young Scrappy and KY's Finest and stuff like that. And I have a group mentality. As you know, I am from the collective Mad Militia.
Yes.
And so I never intended on being a solo artist. And it seems like when I first moved back from Louisville in 2005 and I started to jump into the Lexington rap scene, it was just me, like Lee G.
Right.
And I couldn't find my way, man. I dropped a mixtape. It didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And it's not that was bad. It's just we were still in the MySpace days. We were still where you would go get you a spool of CDs and just burn them and hand them out.
And you wanted more.
Yeah. So the game was evolving, but I didn't want to be a solo artist. Now I say that to say this: my brother and partner in crime, other member of Iron Mike Sharpe, Vegas Posada, came home from prison in 2007. I believe it was August of 2007, and I may have that year wrong. Anyway, when he came home, he and I, we've been, the closest of friends since I met him in 1994. We have the same birthday. We were both born on July 26th, and we always talked about doing a project together while he was in prison, and we would write each other and call each other. It's like, yo, when you come home, I'm putting you to work.
Right.
And he would write like, yo, I hear Lexington's hip hop is like popping.
Yeah.
This is Brooklyn Pizza and Lower 48 and
Okay.
Triple Crown Lounge days. So he came home and, after about a year, he got acclimated to, the free life and the studio game. So we got right to work. And around 2010 is when we started working on the first Iron Mike Sharpe project. So Iron Mike Sharpe is Lee G and Vegas Posada together.
Right.
The first album was produced entirely by Well Blended out of Cincinnati. Iron Mike Sharpe 2, The Road Warriors, was produced entirely by Obvious Bane, who is a native of Philadelphia living in Lexington now. And on face value, for the camera, Iron Mike Sharpe is Lee G and Vegas Posada. We are the two members that make up the group.
Right.
However, we are an inclusive posse. JK47 is Iron Mike Sharpe. Obvious Bane is Iron Mike Sharpe.
Yeah,
Well
man.
Blended is Iron Mike Sharpe.
Yeah.
Fred C is Iron Mike Sharpe.
these are-
Royal Illness
These are
is
a
Iron
lot
Mike
of
Sharpe.
this is a lot of talent.
Yeah.
here that we're talking like
So,
people
like,
that
if-
don't know those names.
If you're
that's
on a
talent.
track with us,
Yeah.
like
You're a
you're
part
in
of
the
it.
game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could
For
keep
sure.
you could keep up.
Definitely.
So that's what it is. Iron Mike Sharpe was a fall guy in the WWF. He never won a match.
Right.
But that's not that he wasn't talented, because he was heavyweight. He was IWGP champion over in Japan.
Right.
And that's where Hulk Hogan was a bad guy. So Iron Mike Sharpe was, he was a fall guy. He would train wrestlers, and then when the TV came on, he would put you over, like, do everything I taught you and beat me.
Right.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
And you can break
That's-
down the name.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's it's two sides of that coin.
Yeah, so Iron Mike Sharpe, it's the wrestler, who never won a match, but who would kick your ass back there in that locker room.
Right.
But the iron is the style of rap, the microphone represents the music,
Yeah.
and Sharpe is the delivery.
Definitely.
We crossfaded with references of wrestling and street life and West Louisville, North Lexington,
Yeah.
which is where we're from.
Right. And you'll
So-
hear you guys drop that during the music.
Yeah,
this
man.
This is hard body music, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely
This
fits
is
the wrestling
barstool
vibe.
rap.
Yeah, for sure. Tough guy music. Let me ask you, man, for people that are listening, where can people check your music out at?
We're on iTunes.
Okay.
We're on Amazon. We're on Spotify. We have videos on YouTube. You can type in Lee G and Vegas Posada, or you can type in Iron Mike Sharpe, IRON. I don't know why it's got stuck right there. MICSHARP. And yeah, man. I mean, you can just Google Iron Mike Sharpe and Lee G News, or they cross reference each other. I purposely did that.
He said, "Google me."
Yeah.
Lee, who's your favorite artist coming up in Lexington right now?
Ooh, who is my favorite artist coming up in Lexington?
Yeah, man.
Right now. Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna say this. First of all, I'm a homer, so nobody is out rhyming Fred C right now.
Truth.
Nobody can F with Freddy Krueger.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But
right.
I'm a homer. Like, that's my little brother. He's Iron Mike Sharpe. So let me take him out of the foray. And I like the Boys of Valley.
Yeah, they're cool, man.
I like the Boys of Valley.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Boys of Valley. I bet y'all didn't see that coming. I've peeped them at the foundation.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, people like Body Baghdad and Zach Daddy, and there's a guy from the north side called Goo, aka Mr. INC. You know, these guys are up and comers, but I feel like their talent level, you know, is showing. You know, like you guys are supposed to be good.
Yeah.
The Boys of Valley, I don't know them.
Right.
They came out of nowhere and had me rocking.
Man, I'll
you know
tell
what I'm
you,
saying?
I went and hung out with them one day. They put out a thing on their social media asking people to come be extras in a video. And I was kind of riding around that day anyways, didn't really have anything to do. So they were at the skate park and I dropped through and I chopped it up with them a little bit, and they were out there like shooting the video and whatnot. They're really cool kids, man.
Eager,
and,
hungry, ambitious,
and
humble.
They were out there in the middle of the day, no shame, doing their thing, man. You know what I mean? Like, and there's something to that. Somebody that's out building,
man.
you know what I mean? And like, I had met them before, and they were always really cool when I spoke with them. And the music they've put out, man, they're grinding slowly. Like, I've seen a couple Lucy's that they're dropping here and now, but I'm excited to hear a full project from them.
Me too, man.
Yeah, those are good kids, man. So when we're talking projects, do you have maybe a favorite CD that's came out, or a project in general that's came out of Lexington here recently, or abroad? Something that you just have had in rotation a lot and haven't taken off the deck?
I'll give you both answers. Before I say this, Cold Winter by Shiesty Christ was a classic album.
Yeah.
It transcended. That thing was a hit in Lexington. That thing was a hit on the internet.
Yes,
that thing
it was.
a hit with white people. That thing was a hit with black people, gangsters, hipsters.
Yeah.
That was the biggest local record I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But that's not my answer.
Okay.
Shout out to that's my elder.
He's magnetic.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, he just
But
is.
let me say this, and I'm a sucker for concept albums. Okay. You know what my favorite local project that dropped was? Hajime.
Okay. Yeah. Hajime is
that Hajime album by Just Me.
Yeah.
It was like a little deadly delicious cupcake.
And the art on that, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
package,
that's an album, bro.
He put all of that together. He took his time, everything built from the top. And you're talking about concept.
Yeah.
Fully conceptualized.
Yeah.
Really, really dope record.
Yeah,
too,
like
man.
I'm so done with like the mixtape style of rap. Like,
it's
keep
cheap.
that in the 2000s.
It's kind of cheap to a degree.
Yeah. When he dropped, I think, how long was Hajime? Like 7 tracks?
Not very
9?
long. Yeah.
Something like that?
And like the first opening track was like a poem, and
yeah,
and
like
there's a lot of that.
No, like it's like if it's 1 through 9, like 1, 3, and 5 are like interludes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a dope project. Hajime, my favorite local project to have dropped was that concept album by Just Me, Hajime. Now I have like his first 2 albums. I forgot the name of the album where he's got like the gun.
Tragedy and Dope.
That,
and,
you know, like
Full Disclosure.
Full Disclosure. That's the one I was about to say.
Both of those records are fantastic.
Open Etiquette or something. I was about to say something. I have those albums and listen to them. Like Knob Creek was a great record by him, but that Hajime album was just great.
Bro, yeah, I love Hajime, but I'll be honest, like Tragedy and Dope and more particularly, full disclosure, like how political that record is.
Yeah.
Man, Justin and I talked about it a little bit when he was on my show. I love those records.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what put me on to Justin. I loved Hajime, but those are near and dear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but definitely dope records that you threw out there, man. Like
Yeah, man.
and Cold Winter, what it did when it dropped, you're right. It was selling out.
See, I didn't want to say Cold Winter because I'm on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But no, in your feature was so dope on that. Like the way that Hendrick used you on the hook and whatnot, and kind of like how your voice just almost contrasted on first listen, but over time it like really blended really well. You know, it's kind of cool. Really,
that
cool.
was me going off on my middle school principal.
Yeah,
on that hook.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like it clashed at first. Like when I first heard it, I was like, oh wow. But after I listened to it a few times, it really fits.
Yeah, we did
especially
that.
The theme of the song too.
We did that at Young Lord's studio, and when I came out of the booth, Young Lord and Shiesty were like, "Oh my god."
That's it.
Yeah.
And you know when you know, man.
Yeah, it's a good
So
looking.
let's kind of transition off of music if that's
Okay.
cool with you. I want to go into kind of a little bit about Lexington.
All right.
I want to talk about our city, man, because I've had a couple people on that I've got to talk about this with, and I'm just finding my legs with the show, I'll admit, man. I'm new to this. So, like, it's cool that I'm going to have you on and kind of be able to go into this lane and talk about the city a little bit. So, first and foremost, we talked about your presence online a little bit earlier, and I want to speak with you about some of the dust that you stirred up, about Cheapside. I saw kind of you had said something about Cheapside and take back Cheapside.
Yeah.
And some people, I mean, obviously are going to disagree with your opinion on that, you know what I mean? But last month's feature artist was Russell Allen, which is Real the
shout out to
Poet.
Real the Poet, man.
Yeah, and he's affiliated with DeBron Thomas, really heavy.
Charge it to my head, not my heart, man.
Yeah.
Because if I was thinking, I probably would have said Russ.
Yeah.
Because that Black Like Me record.
Oh, yeah.
And the video.
Yeah, and Learn on the Fly. I mean, yeah,
he and I did a song at the dojo. That was
I've
for the
heard
Temps.
that. Yeah, I heard that.
We
I heard
killed that.
record. Yeah, I mean, Real is dope. Like I said, when I first person I contacted to get music for the show, like for the first month, it's like, man, I want to play some of your music because I'm a fan.
And he does the intro to DJ Daddy King on 107.9. Come on.
I remember like before I knew him, and then when I first met him and had listened to his music a little bit, and then I heard that, I was like, yo, that's Russell.
And you didn't even brag on it.
He's always been real cool with me, man. Like when I meet him and see him and stuff, like I chop it up with him, and I guess he's got a weird sense of humor like I do. So we bounce off of one another in that way, and we kind of knew off the rip. So like when I talk to him, I've done some songs with him and stuff, and he's a solid dude.
I love Real the Poet, man.
But talking about him, man, and kind of how he's affiliated with Take Back Cheapside.
Yeah, Cheapside. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you kind of feel about that, and what do you think that Lexington could kind of do to kind of fix that?
I think that Thursday Night Live, of all the places in Lexington's a sprawling city with like 350,000 people. Why is it there?
Right.
Secondly, the John Breckenridge and the John Hunt Morgan statues are disrespectful to me, my father, my grandfather, and my grandfather's father.
Yeah,
and
man.
I feel like Lexington doesn't give a shit. You know?
I can feel that, man.
So that's how I feel. Look, I'm all for going downtown and getting drunk on a Thursday and listening to local music.
Right.
Why is it on the Cheapside slave auction block?
Man.
Like, why is it
in
there?
the shadows of these statues.
Yeah. Like, well, meanwhile, the courthouse pavilion is like empty.
Right.
Meanwhile, Triangle Park is empty. Phoenix Park is empty. I'm like, why is it here?
Yeah.
And why, since we've expressed our disconcern, well, we've expressed our discomfort with it, why has no one ever come to talk to us about it?
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, how long has DeBron been kind of doing the movement? It's been over a year now, right? I mean, he's been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
And, like, from what I can see, man, is like, is anybody listening to him?
No.
Like,
you know why? That which leads me to the post that you were talking about. No, I'm starting to believe that Lexington doesn't care.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
I can feel that.
The ball was in your court when New Orleans did it a couple of weeks ago.
And that's what I was gonna say. It's happening in a lot of different
you know what I'm
places
saying?
right now.
And if New Orleans can,
yeah,
you know,
right.
New Orleans was the bottom. Lexington is the top.
Yeah.
You know, like of this slave neighborhood that once existed.
Right.
So why can't Lexington take action? I'll tell you why. Because Lexington doesn't want to take action, and Lexington doesn't have to take action.
Yeah.
So we'll wait till you guys be quiet and or die.
It's a shame, man. It's a shame. And that's the thing, like when I saw DeBron and I sat down and talked to them about what they were saying, like I was ignorant to it down there. I'll be honest, man. I had no idea what those statues even were when I walked past them. Like I didn't pay any attention to them, I'll be honest. And then learning that what they were and who these people were and what they stood for, you know what I mean? And like the history of that area, like to a degree, man, like I understand that you can't erase history, but there's something just ominous and just oppressive about having these people that once stood for something on the same ground where it occurred.
Yeah.
Like having those monuments.
That's a monument.
It's a monument to them. Yeah.
And like you said, you can't change history, and that's not what we're here for.
No.
What we're saying is we feel like you guys are purposely disrespecting
Everyone
us.
should be outright out here standing and being able to agree with what's being asked.
Yeah.
What's being asked is not an unreasonable request.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the fact that people aren't out there, you know, agreeing and saying like, yes, something should happen speaks volumes in and of itself.
It's not your responsibility. It's not your fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad. A lot of times on social media when we type and text, we can't really convey our sentiment.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not mad at black people for, you know, knowingly still going down there.
Right.
And I'm certainly not mad at white people for getting drunk and enjoying themselves. It's not their fault that this has been relegated to this block.
Right.
You know, all we're saying is, look, this is disrespect. Okay, you don't want to take the statues down.
Yeah.
Relocate the event.
And that's the thing is like, I think what DeBron and them are asking, hopefully somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but they want to relocate the statues. They're not just asking about like tearing them down or whatever. They're just saying take them somewhere else.
Yeah.
Put them in a museum or something where they belong. Like
yeah, we're not trying to throw the rope around the head of the statue and bring it down.
The way he's doing it is so professional. You know what I mean? He's not out there like. In the protests that they've had, they were extremely peaceful. I just really hope that I mean I've promoted him on several of these episodes. I just want people to pay attention to that, man. And like I'm telling everybody I know about it because a lot of people do not know what Cheapside means. That's
why whenever a post or a comment comes up, I always share that Lexington monument like picture that explains Cheapside slave auction block.
Education.
Yeah,
people
man.
need at bare minimum like they took the plaque out that told people what was up down there about like what Cheapside was. They removed that, but they kept the statues. That's another big reason behind this, you know? Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, they wanted. I don't know, man.
You know,
we could go down that rabbit hole for a while, Lee.
Yeah.
We better pull up out of it.
Yeah, let's come on out of there.
Okay,
let's come out of there.
What is something outside of that you feel that Lexington is in dire need of right now?
I'm gonna give you a broad stroke, man. Lexington is in need of culture.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I specifically mean music, sports, arts, education, entertainment. Okay, there's no concerts for us to go. Okay, I understand. We can't have Jadakiss here today and then SWV here tomorrow and then, Eric Church. And then, I get that. But good Lord, where's the go-kart track? Yeah. Where is the water park? Where's the zoo? Where's the skating rink?
Because the population is ballooning here. We're getting so many people here, and that type of thing would thrive.
Yeah.
And it's just not here. They talk about it. They say people are putting bids in around Rupp Arena. I've read about like right around there. At first they were talking about putting a theater back there, like right beside
like
Rupp.
The theater bowling alley thing.
Yeah, and like go-karts and laser tag and stuff like that. And I'm like, we talk about this for decades in this city.
Yeah.
Like, why is everything just this extended thing? Like, I feel like in other cities, when they decide they need to do something, they do it. They put it up.
They do it.
And like, there is not much of a nightlife here.
There's none at all.
One option is to go out and drink. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty much what you got. You know?
I've convinced myself that Louisville, 65 miles isn't that far.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had to train myself.
Yeah.
Because like, there's no venues here. Like, Rupp Arena is how come they put All-Tech Arena all the way out at the horse park? Because that could be where we could host smaller concerts, other things,
right.
And we just don't have a secondary arena, like a Fifth Third Bank Stadium, or something, a secondary locale, like a Lexington Gardens or something.
That would have been perfect where this Center Point building's going. They finally showed what was going to be there, and it was started out as this like skyscraper,
and now it's
an
11
office building.
11-story building that you could like fall off of and live.
It's an office building, and I'm like, Jesus. How did they mess it up that bad?
Yeah,
I mean, what they tore down culture for what they have,
Yeah, I mean, that was my favorite block.
Yeah.
But I mean, we need more of a culture here, because unless you're like older and well off, this is a boring place.
It kind of is.
Aren't we the culture here?
Yeah.
Like, people like us who are independent artists
Right.
and guerrilla entertainers and just
Guerrilla entertainers.
Yeah.
That is dope. I like that.
Come on, man. Think about it. We had to create
Oh yeah.
the foundation.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had to create something to do and find somewhere to go to do
Right.
it.
And I'm not even talking about the foundation. Like, I didn't even bring that up in this interview.
Mm-hmm.
You held such an integral part of that. You know what I mean? And like, from the scene to you, like, thank you for the part and the role that you played there, man.
Hey,
'Cause
man.
it was good seeing your smiling face coming through the doors.
Yeah,
You're definitely
man.
welcoming. You know what I
My
mean?
pleasure.
And for anybody that's been there, you've definitely seen Lee holding the
Yeah.
clipboard.
See, I was about to say, I took pride in, look, I will dog anybody on this microphone.
Right.
That may or may not be true when the rubber hits the road, but that's certainly how I feel right here.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I took pride in an MC's holding this list.
Right.
And ain't no garbage in my house.
Yeah,
So
man.
when you sign this list, you better bring it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I like that. I didn't want some lady up there or some dude up there just in the way. Like, we're trying to establish and build a foundation here.
Yeah. And you guys did that, man. And I talked to Justin. I'm excited for him to bring that back. I know he's taking a break right now, but I know that one day Foundation will be back in some way, shape, or form,
Listen,
in some capacity.
That was the foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that
definitely.
was 3 years of laying groundwork. Now, of course, you got to take a break.
Yeah.
You know what
sure.
I'm saying? Now,
especially when you Justin coaching these teams out here, man, DJing, doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot, man.
Yeah.
Man, we've talked about kind of some of the negative things about our city, man. Let's talk about some of the positives.
Okay.
Where's somewhere you like to grab a bite to eat in Lexington?
Oh, I have some of my personal favorites.
Okay.
First of all, I got to give a shout out to the best Italian restaurant in the city, Joe Bologna's.
Oh, Joe Bologna's. Okay.
That is, Joe and Cher are like, I know them.
Yeah.
They're like, that's a good restaurant right there.
Coolest location.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And not only that, but my makeshift brother and one of my best friends, Larry Peterkin, works there, so I get to eat the food all the time. But it's right there on the corner of Maxwell and Jersey, right downtown. And UK players are always in and out of there.
Oh, yeah, man.
And
the place is dope. I took my wife there. I remember for the first time, it was probably about 4 years ago. Like, for my first time at least.
Yeah.
And like, when I walked in and looked around, I was like, man, this does not feel like a restaurant. Like, I sat down, I'm like, I'm in a restaurant right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different vibe in there.
Yeah. And
but the food is excellent. You're right.
The food is delicious, man. I mean, so And I love Italian food and I love Mexican food. So I love El Sabrosa over there on Village Drive in Cardinal Valley.
Yeah.
There used to be my favorite. I used to love Della's Diner. Do you remember Della's?
I've never had
It's
it.
on the corner of Upper and Short. It's
don't
called
think
the
I've
Lexington Diner now.
Oh yeah, I've had the Lexington. I've had the Lexington diner.
It used to be called Della's.
Okay.
And that was like,
Yeah.
oh, what? I also like Bradford barbecue.
Yeah.
I like Red State barbecue.
Listen to him, man. You're a foodie.
Yeah.
We got to go eat.
And
That's what we need to do. Next
look,
time we hang
I just
out.
look like this, but I'm a fat ass.
Next time we hang out, we got to go
Definitely.
eat. Man.
And I'll be remiss if I didn't say, we got to bring some soul food in. So Mimi's.
Yeah.
And Scoop of Soul. Have you had Scoop of Soul?
Not. I've had Mimi's.
Get over there to Scoop of Soul.
Okay. Yeah, man, I want a good Jamaican
Go to the
cuisine
Rooftop Restaurant.
Okay.
Rooftop Grill on Lewis Coleman. It's
Okay.
34th and Broadway in
Okay.
Louisville. Rooftop Grill, Iron Mike Sharpe co-sign, Lee G and Vegas Posada, curry chicken video coming soon, live and direct from Rooftop Grill.
I gotta go try
there.
that. Yeah, because I'm a huge. That's
We used
probably
to
my
have-
favorite. And I know it just shut down. They even
Yeah, we
painted
had-
over the mural. I think that was over there.
When I drove past and I didn't see Bob Marley anymore,
Yeah.
that crushed me.
Yeah, man. I never actually ate there. I found out about it when Vegas posted that it was closed.
Yeah,
Like-
we used to eat there like twice a week.
There's a place that I go to in Atlanta when I visit my family. It's actually attached to a gas station, and
Oh.
it's the most authentic that I've had
Yeah, I bet that-
since being to Jamaica. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because that's where my wife and I went to on our honeymoon,
Uh-huh.
and I was there for a mission trip when they got hit by a hurricane. I believe it was probably like maybe 07,
Okay.
08, and like fell in love with the food that first trip. We were
Yeah,
there for
man.
like a month. It was,
My plantains, my
man,
rice and beans.
yeah, man. So I need a place like that here
Yeah.
locally. My favorite Italian is probably Pisano's off of Nicholasville Road. It's beside Planet Thai.
Haven't been there. I know what you're
that-
talking about. I haven't been there.
Everything, all the noodles are homemade. Everything's homemade in there.
Okay.
It's killer.
All right.
Killer. Okay, so we got your places that you like to eat. Where do you want to go get a drink? If you're gonna go get a drink in town, man, where's it gonna be?
The chill spot. I got to go to the chill spot on Lima Drive, man.
Okay.
Shout out to Darwin. And that's where Melody and I host Drinks and Dialogues.
Okay.
Also,
Dope.
we do one Friday a month. It's a rotating Friday. I'd love to say the third Friday or the
Yeah.
first Friday. It's a Friday that we pick and put a
Right.
flyer up for.
That's schedules.
But I love to go to the chill spot on Friday nights.
Okay.
And I love to go to the chill spot to watch UK basketball.
Yeah.
So that's usually where I'm having my bourbon and Coke.
Cool.
I also go to Al's Bar.
Yeah.
Al's Bar is
Al's
the
is
stiffest, toughest
classic.
drink you're going to
Yeah,
have.
classic. They've got a food truck in the kitchen now. It's like a food truck doing all their
well, see,
food.
I was about to say, the tater tots over there are
Yeah,
great too.
They're killing it on their food game now.
Also, if you go across the street, there's this little awesome place called the Arcadium.
Oh,
Where you can get you a Hell or Heaven IPA and you can play WrestleFest or
Yes.
Donkey Kong.
Oh man.
So-
or Tetris even. They have
Yes.
a Tetris in there. They also have is it Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, too.
And that's
Yeah.
I love that game.
I went to 16-bit in Cincinnati about 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and it was awesome too.
Man, I think I may have seen a concert there. I may be stand corrected, but I went to a concert at like an arcade in Cincinnati.
It was
Is that what you said
16-bit.
at? Yeah, that was probably what it was.
Yeah.
That's been a while ago. I went and saw Plato perform there.
Oh, okay.
He goes by Crumb now out of Texas. Okay, man, let's transition into fatherhood because it is daddy.
Yes.
So I want to talk fatherhood a little bit, man.
All right.
I just
Look,
had my first kid.
goosebumps.
Man. Oh yeah, man. Here they come. You've got a son, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. You guys seem to have a really cool relationship, man.
Yeah, man.
I've seen like the photo shoot, the superhero photo shoot you did, like
It was awesome,
a little
right?
while ago.
It was dope.
That was really cool, man. Man, tell us about your relationship with your son, man.
Oh man, I have a 9-year-old, beautiful young prince. His name is DeAndre Malik Carter. The world knows him as Bugs.
Such
And-
a dope nickname. That's dope.
Yeah, man. He's never had a haircut.
Awesome.
So he's got the softest plaits and braids that you'll ever lay your hands on. He's sweet.
Yeah.
He's non-violent, non-aggressive. He never raises his voice. He's just precious. He's my best part. He has my face, but he has none of my attributes. He's nice. He's polite. He's quiet.
Right.
He doesn't play sports. He has no rhythm. He can't dance. But he's intelligent and brave.
Yeah, man.
And
listen to that, man. You know what?
I'm about to start crying.
It's really cool to hear that, man. Because like a lot of people, man, like that's another reason that I started this show is because I feel like people should see that it's cool to be a dad. Like it's an experience, man. And like all men, most men are gonna come to it at one time or another. You're gonna become a father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's something beautiful about having such pride in somebody beside yourself and so much love for somebody beside yourself. Because love will set you free, man.
Absolutely.
And like you see Lee at his best when he's talking about his son. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
man.
Like that's it's a beautiful thing, bro.
It is. He like I told you before we start filming, when he's old enough to understand and comprehend, I'm gonna sit it down and tell him, like, you saved my life.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I was out there, man.
Yeah, dude.
I was out there, and if not for my son coming at that perfect day on December the 20th, 2007, I'd be dead right now.
Yeah,
I'd be in jail right now.
Yeah.
And becoming a father, there's a whole lot of, dad is dope. There's a whole lot of dads out there, but you've got to be a father too.
Yeah, man.
You've got, you not only, you can't just feed them and clothe them.
No.
You got to raise them.
Yeah,
You got to
man.
teach them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's no instructions.
Right.
And you can't assume that just because that's your flesh and blood and you share the same mind that he gets it or
Yeah.
that he knows. No, you got to teach him.
Yeah, man.
And so it's so gratifying, you know what I'm saying, when you see the fruits of your labor. I mean, he's 9 years old, and sometimes I'll look and I'll be like, yeah, I'm doing a good job. You know what I'm saying?
See, man, I'm in newborn stage right now.
I told
So,
you
like,
upstairs, it
yeah.
only get like when I looked at your daughter, I was like, that's beautiful, and I
Right.
remember that, but it gets better every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when they turn 1, when they turn 2, when
Yeah.
they turn 3, like you're like, this is awesome.
Right.
What? Next year we get to play soccer? What?
Exactly.
You get to go to school next
Yeah.
year?
Yeah,
What?
man.
You're losing teeth now?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, man. I'm already thinking about that. I'm trying not to get too far ahead of myself.
Yeah.
My wife is breastfeeding for the first time. I mean, we just had a crazy surgery. It was after 30 hours, me in there all gowned up and stuff. Like, it's been a roller coaster of a couple weeks. And like the last couple days, man, like my wife, I've seen like kind of how she's doing it, and she's killing it, bro. Like, I'm so excited to see her kind of like
Isn't that beautiful?
fall into motherhood and whatnot. You know what I mean?
seeing your wife with your child.
Oh yeah, man.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's like you created that in like the relationship, because my wife and I have been together for 10 years. So like it's literally the fruits of the labor. You know what I mean?
See,
like
my son's mother and I, we were never together. Now, we had an outstanding friendship.
Okay.
But we were never a couple.
right.
And when he was born and I used to see her nurturing, I'm like, I love you.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not listen, this isn't romantic.
Right.
I love you. You are the
Yeah.
mother of my child. And what I'm looking at is beautiful.
Right.
You're making me want to leave and go be a good man.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
She had me up in there. Like when she left, I got that nursery ready. You saw the nursery. You know, I spent hours on that, man. I'm like, we're getting ready
Dad.
for it.
You
And
start dadding,
yeah,
didn't
it's
you?
crazy, man. It's crazy. Now that the kid's here and I see their relationship, man, it's nuts.
Yeah.
But on top of that, like I experienced, like we actually had to reschedule this interview.
Yeah, I
you know what I
know.
mean? So like I've already experienced that side of things in the birth.
Yeah.
You know, so like the baby's just now getting here. It's day 1 and it already happened. You know what I mean? So I kind of want to ask you,
cool.
man, how do you navigate like with your kid? How do you make balance everything on a day-to-day basis to where you're doing everything that you do, but you also are there and present for your son?
Okay. That's a good question. And I feel like I'm in a fortunate situation because his mother and I were never together, but there was absolutely no animosity or any beef.
Right.
We live in bordering towns, you know. So I say that to say this. I get my son every weekend from Friday to Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on what the school schedule is.
Cool.
I have my son every weekend.
That's awesome.
And it's great because weekends are weekends for other people.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, Lee, what are you doing Friday? What are you doing Saturday? Let's hook up on the weekend. And I'm like, nah. Like,
I got my kid.
Yeah, weekends are when I dad.
Yeah.
So I balance it by like, it's funny because like Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, that's when I party.
Yeah.
Sunday night, I go out on Sundays. Like I go out on Sundays, you know.
Funny, man.
And but and that unique schedule situation
has worked.
And it's kind of remolded my behavior because a lot of times when people are going out, getting drunk, getting hammered, hanging out, I've got my son with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then when everybody is going to work and going to bed at 10 o'clock and 10:30, I'm like, woo, party! Hey, what we gonna do? Where we going?
Right.
Strip club? Where we going? And they're like, Lee, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Chill out. Yeah, man. That's how my relationship was with my dad coming up. Like my mom and my dad were not together. And my dad would have me on the weekends.
Yeah.
And basically like weekends were ours, you know what I mean? And like I remember that time even before him and my stepmom got married of it being just us two, and I was about the same age as what your boy is. So it's just it's kind of crazy, that dynamic, but the way that it works out, man, and if you make it work for you, it's a beautiful thing. Because my dad and I, we are so close, man. You would have never thought that when I was a kid that I only saw him on the weekends, you know what I mean? Because honestly, if you make that time count, it doesn't matter.
Dude, my birthday was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And my son got me a card via my mom, you know. And I opened
That's how it works.
And he had signed it in green crayon, and it said, Daddy, you're my favorite with an E.
Yeah.
E-T, you know. And, oh, man, I just fucking melted on the floor right then and there, you know. Because I know my son.
Yeah.
And before I say that, so I called my mom later, and I said, Mom, because she got me 2 cards and Bugs got me 1. I said, Mom, did you tell Bugs to say that, Daddy, you're my favorite? She was like, no, I didn't even know what he wrote.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, it hit me in my heart again because I'm like, I know my son. My son is me all over again.
Right.
I said, he's telling me that I'm like, he's like, I love my mommy.
Yeah.
I love my mommy. It's my mommy. But when
Right.
I'm with you,
Yeah.
it's the best.
Yeah. And the thing
You know
is
what I'm saying?
he means it. You know what I
He
mean? Like
freaking meant that.
The child, the innocence of it, man, they mean what they say. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And like, not always. Obviously, they're going to say some sideways, talk outside of the neck and whatnot. My baby cries at me. And like, that's her only language right now. So I'm excited for the stage to be able to communicate with it. You know what I mean? But it's a beautiful thing, man. Fatherhood. You know, so
fatherhood itself. But you know what? You're gonna be all right.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna be all right.
I already know.
You know,
man.
you're gonna be all right.
So how do you remain grounded, man? What is the part of your routine that keeps the world from getting to you too much?
I smoke blunts, man.
Yeah, man.
I smoke blunts, and one of the ways it became habitual. I'll open up a little bit for you. I used to go to therapy when I was a teenager. I used to go to Charter Ridge.
Okay.
And it was for behavioral issues. It was for depression, and you know I was dealing with not only did my parents get divorced, but after that my father went to prison, and my brother went to prison also for murder. And my sister went to prison.
Dang.
And so I like kind of joined a gang and started to act out and break in houses and sell weed. And I'm talking about 15 years old. I'm doing things that some people didn't start doing until they were like 25.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I started to go to therapy, and you know I did my therapy, but what was self-therapeutic for me is I would smoke and I would read the Bible and I would study scripture.
Right.
And that started to become my own, you know, soul healing process. And then I kind of started to study Islam. So it wasn't so much Bible. I would smoke and study.
Yeah.
Whether that would be my homework or the Quran,
Right.
or what have you. And once I got into college, I started to read a lot more books and started to seek the tutelage. I went to Kentucky State University, which is an HBCU. So I started to seek the tutelage of, professors and people that were smarter than me. And so now how do I stay grounded? I call my mom. I call my uncle, who is a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. And I call Shiesty Christ.
Yeah, man.
And sometimes, because I fancy myself on being the smartest guy in the room.
Right.
But even the smartest guy in the room knows that he's not the smartest guy in the room.
Amen.
So I call people and I kind of let them lecture me. Hey, Lee, that Facebook post that you said, that was a little brass.
Yeah.
You can be a little over the top at times. And I stay grounded by, knowing that I have to seek, the advice of my elders. And in turn, not only that, but when people like Fred C. or the Boys of Valley come to me for
Right.
advice, I humbly give them that warm energy too. And that kind of keeps me balanced.
Yeah, for sure.
know what I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah, definitely. That's a great answer, Lee.
Oh,
That's a
thank you,
really
sir.
good answer because it's application.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a bunch of hoopla about like theories and whatnot. You talking about how you've applied it in your life.
Yeah.
And what you do to just kind of stay centered, man.
Yeah, man.
The main reason that I started this show is to give advice to people because people are always looking for like an easier way in every aspect of life.
Yeah.
A better way, maybe is the better way to say it. And like a lot of times we don't know where to look. And I think that by talking to people like you that are doing different types of things and looking at life the way you do, it can be an encouragement and an advice to people to kind of figure out how they can better themselves. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
man? So thank you for coming open like that, man, and having
no
this.
problem, man.
That we've had a good conversation. I think,
Yeah.
man. We've kind of talked about a lot of different topics and whatnot.
Yeah.
and it's been cool just kicking it with you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Let's close this out. I always do a rapid fire round at the end.
Okay,
and that's
cool.
kind of either or.
I've always
questions.
wanted to do one of these.
Now, right before we go into that, I got one more question for
Okay.
you. Okay, so if you had one piece of advice for a new father, not me, just a new dad in general, what would it be?
Jump in.
Yeah.
Jump in. Do it all. And I don't mean just, changing the diapers or whatever, but, watch, look, listen, and observe.
Yeah.
And apply that, help.
Right.
Be proactive, and be just as, like, the mother is going to be the dominant nurturer because the mother is who, gave birth to the baby. What I'm saying is be just as passionate and active as she is.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And remember that she gets sleepy, she gets tired.
Yeah, man.
So in true wrestling fashion, tag in.
Yeah.
Tag in.
For sure.
And that will draw the closer connection. One of the reasons people take so much notice of the relationship with me and Bugs is because when I saw him, I fell in love, dude.
Yeah, man.
I jumped right in. I was like, look
For
at my
sure.
face.
That's how That's how I was too, man. Like it was beautiful, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm a really emotional person. I'm not saying
Me
that.
too.
I'm saying that I'm not like a gore guy. And like when we had to do the C-section, I was like, oh man, like this is gonna be tough because I was expecting it to be one way and now it's gonna be this way.
Yeah.
But the second I saw my daughter, man, like everything in me was like, I'm gonna do everything I can.
You're better than me. I was like, yeah, let me know when he's out.
Yeah.
when
It's
can I
tough,
come
man.
in?
It was tough. It was tough.
I bet.
Yeah, but I wrote it out. We wrote it out.
I'm proud of you.
So let's hop into rapid fire.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so here we go. These are either or questions. You can explain your answer if you feel the need to, or you can just hit me with it and we'll keep them rolling. all
Okay.
right? Phone call or text message?
Text.
He's so quick with it. Cardio or weights?
Cardio.
East or west?
West.
Hulk Hogan or Andre the Giant?
Damn it. Andre.
Okay, The Undertaker or Mankind?
Taker.
Transformers or He-Man?
He-Man.
Lexington or Louisville?
Louisville.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Beer or liquor?
Beer.
DMX or Busta Rhymes?
Buster.
Slick Rick or Cool Mo D?
Kumo D.
Late night or early morning?
Early morning.
Fish or shrimp?
Fish.
That's it, brother.
Keep them coming. I like that.
You like that round?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Now,
Man.
before we close out, man, I just want you to be able to kind of promote your brand.
Okay.
Drop where people can follow you at. Drop
All right.
anything that you may have coming up. If you want to put the music out there, the WLXU, whatever you want to do, man, this is your time to do it.
Okay.
Hit them with it.
All right. So, my name is Lee G, but we're going to do this. Lee Carter on Facebook. Look up Lee Carter. And while you're on Facebook, go ahead and go up to the search engine and type in the Lee G News Morning Show. Okay? Now, get off of Facebook. Go to Twitter.
Yep.
Type in Lee G News Radio.
Yep.
Follow me on Twitter.
Okay.
Get off of Twitter. Go to Instagram.
Yeah.
Type in Lee G News on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, man.
Okay? Now, I host the Lee G News Morning Show on WLXU 93.9 FM every Monday from 9 to 11, every Tuesday from 9 to 10. The studio phone number is 859-721-5690. Either Lee G or the beautiful, lovely, and talented Miss Melody Westerfield will answer the phone and field your questions and or requests. Let's see, what else? I'm Lee G. You can get at me in the streets. I'll be in front of Stop and Shop in Winburn.
He's a Winburn fan if you ain't know.
I Iron Mike Sharpe on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, Lee G and Vegas Posada. Lee G News on YouTube.
Yes.
Follow and subscribe the Lee G News channel on YouTube. I think that's it.
And you know what I'm going to do? Like
What's
what's
up?
really cool during the videos because during
You're gonna do that?
it's gonna pop up all the
Good,
text,
good,
so they'll
good.
know exactly where to go. Yeah. So now I'm just gonna follow what you said and type it out.
Thank you.
Cool, man.
All right.
So let's get off of here, Lee. Again, man, it was really cool kicking it with you.
Thank you, sir.
For everybody that's listening, man, as you know, the podcast comes out every other Sunday, so twice a month. And as I mentioned in the beginning of this episode, my wife and I are about to begin the vlog, which is a video blog for all the old people that may be listening. You ain't old. I'm just playing. You ain't old. That video blog is going to be launching this week, finally. And we're going to kind of document the first year of, our baby being here. And kind of you can watch Ava Harper grow along with us. But this has been
Ava.
episode 4.
Shout out to baby Ava from Lee G News.
Yeah, Lee, and shout out to Lee G, man, for coming around and working it out to where my baby came and we were supposed to do the interview and now
Look,
you're here, man.
As I told you,
yeah,
always willing to welcome a new Leo into the
man.
world.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Leos.
Yeah, for all you that are still here, thank you for listening to Dad is Dope. You can follow me on all platforms at Dad is Dope. This has been episode 4. Thank you.
Peace.